begin and we talk about where we were yesterday. And yeah, I want to talk about this briefly. So for you to maybe also know your size, the size of the dashboard, you could resize, move it and up and down so that you check that you are able to auto fit your nini vizuri, your dashboard very well, so that you first have a defined size. So if you look at maybe what I was using, and Lucy, I was telling you that you can check on the width. It's not very, it's a rectangle, but not an awkward one. Because I saw yours looking like something like what? I'm trying to. Yeah, I saw yours looking a little bit narrow. Yeah, if I were to resize it, I would say yours was looking like something like this. So your dashboard is this one. So that was that might not be appealing to the viewers, right? Um, so yeah, even mine, of course, this one needs to be resized, but that is a matter of once you're done with creating a dashboard, then you could look into these ones, into the visual appeal and such like stuff. So what I wanted to say is, I see here not region selected. Okay, let me unselect and check it. Yeah, and I see also, I don't know whether it's 2020 what's selected. Oh, groceries. Yeah, so we have every region represented here. So sometimes if I click North Rift, you can see that there is only this one is changing, sales by region. If I click even grocery, only this one is changing. If I click maybe far, still it's only uh, this visual that is changing. Who else is seeing that in their report? Nani anaona hiyo? That some of the slices are not interacting with some of the visuals that you have. Lucy is seeing that. Who else? Do we have reports? Nathan is seeing that. Hillary. Yeah. Yeah. So how do we solve that problem, Hillary?
I actually don't know.
Lucy? Lucy, how do you solve it? Oh, Lucy has left. Who else? Nathan. Nathan Kiprop ama Kiprotich. How do you solve that problem, that issue? Hmm. Yeah, the interaction. But what you need to do is, if I go to, let me check if I click. Yeah, even if I click this timeline, the same thing is happening. It's only interacting with sales by region only. So I could right click. Let me see if I select 2024. Yeah, it's also doing the same. So I could right click this one. If you right click it, what do you see? You can see here refresh, but then there's report connections. This report connections report, the connections within your report. So if you click it, sorry, uncheck this. Yeah. So let me uncheck it and see what's happening. So if I click 2023, no interaction here. It's only interacting with this one. Get this out there. Yeah. So just right click and go to report connections, and then now you can check that you can check all the pivot tables that you had created, so that this one interacts with any field, any visual that you will create here, because these visuals we are creating them based on the pivots that we created, based on the pivot tables that we created. So I will go there and say this, and come here and say this. So I've instructed this slicer to interact with all of them. So I click on OK. So if I click here, 2023, yeah, you can see even this one has done some movement. Similar to this one, you could study it closely. We did not edit this one, so that's why you are seeing total in white. So if I click 2023, you can see total. This red one has increased. If I click 2024, the red one has actually reduced in size, but the blue one here has increased in size. Are we together with that? Eh? Tihamwe. Who is not together with us, so that we know whether they are for us or for them. Lucy is saying you're not together. Lucy, you do this. Wait, you right click on that. What? Slicer. So for example, if you check here team, if I click North Rift, it's only interacting with these slicer cells by region, but I don't want that. So I will right click on it and then come to report connections. Click on report connections. You can see that it's only connected to one. Yeah. So you can click all of them so that it interacts with any plot that you're going to put inside this first page. So right now, if I click Nyanza, you can see information moving. South Rift, similarly, is interacting with all. If I come to Coast, you see them interacting there. Lucy, are we together? Okay. Yeah, similarly, so you do that for all the slices that you have. So even this one is not interacting, so you come here and say report connections. Here, here, here. Then you come here and do this and click on OK. So easy, it's moving. It's interacting also here. Yeah. That I think is so check on the size of your page. Check also on the arrangement. So ensure that you have, if it's slices uko nazo hapa. Then there are some information that you may need zioccupy hapa, right? Something like total sales. You may want it to be seen haraka haraka. The total sales that we have made. You want a total number of sales representatives maybe zikuwe hapo. You want us to see maybe quantity ordered zikuwe hapa. Apart from that, ukuwe na even number of sales representative. So we call them cards. So you may want different cards to appear up here. So what do you do? So hapo ndo creating those cards requires some ujuzi kidogo. Cancel. So right now, if we create it na hii, while this thing is on top here, this is the shape that we created inaweza to sumbua. So we could first just remove this shape to hide hapo. We put it there, then come back and create everything to make it that shape. Yeah. So let me first even move this nini. Then there are things that I want. Why is it selecting for me? But okay, anyway. Let me see. I want to move this Nini down. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. So this one needs to be selected. This also. What's funny about this thing? Uh, hmm. I might need to restart this Excel. It's not selecting for me this shape, not shape, the visual that we created here. Okay, now it's behaving. Yeah, you may want to drag that down. Yeah, these are the things that are not happening. Okay, yeah, so I want to create this first row here, where filled some cards. So we call them cards, eh? Yeah. So what you do is the same way we did, you just go to insert and say you want to insert a shape, right? So you can see here there are shapes. So the same way we created this one, you first we could insert and say we want the shapes. So I want what? I may want this rounded one. So I want to no, wait. Ours is not rounded, so we could just pick this one with the corner up, and then you say our card is going to cover that place. It's going to cover that, and then I could just duplicate it. Control copy, Control V, then Control copy, Control V again, because I might need different cards. Control copy. What else do we want? We want to see the number of sales reps. We want to see the total sales. We want to see, apart from total sales, I want those numbers which we need to see in an instance. Yeah. So I could drag them so that they appear up on top. This one will also cover. So we'll arrange them badai. Let's first understand how to create those cards. So of course we could format this shape so that we say that the outline, we don't want the outline, we say that the outline thickness, it shouldn't be that thick. And once you're here, you can I don't know the shapes can copy a format. Ah, no, it's not copying. Yeah, and then we could say that we don't want it to fill. Do you want it to fill? Yeah, we may want it to just fill, but let's look at this color yenye tulikuwa nayo hapa. So that shape fill becomes, was it this one or this dark one? So it's this one. So that's it. Yeah. So what do we want? So we want to display here total sales. Ikuwe ni card ya total sales. Again, even we could give this shape of ours a title, but first insert that title. We go to insert, and then you can see here there's a text box. So you click that text box, and then you need to draw it. So let's say we want that drawing and to cover that, but our text box might need to be dragged kwenda juu kidogo. Let's see. Oh, wait. Anyway, okay. Let's first so we want it to contain total sales. Total sales. The total sales. So this one you could just drag it this way. Right, okay. So go to home. we could see on how we want to arrange it. We want to arrange it at maybe center. This one also center, so that it covers. And this thing, I want it to be up there. Then I bring in this and center them that way. So I've created a card that is going to be just uh, highlighting the total sales. So how do I get that value into this what you call this shape? So let's go back to our pivots. So we had something here for pivot tables. This is what we had yesterday. So we can delete it. Yeah. So I'm seeing here same thing. I'm seeing here two similar things. Yeah, so I can change this one as containing just that value for subtotal. So analyze fill list. So I want to remove this outlet type so that I only have subtotal. Then I go back to my summary because I want that total to be appearing here. All right. I want it to be appearing there. So what I do is I can click on this shape, then go to this formula bar. Let me first let me pin it so that people see what I'm talking about. There's this formula bar, right? So I first click this one. First click the shape that we created. Once you see that it's highlighted, go to this formula bar and press equal. So once you're there at equal, go to pivot table. So it doesn't need to be pivot table. It might be somewhere kuna mahali umeweka that number for total sales. So you press on equal and come here to pivot table and click it. So it is going to tell you get pivot table and so subtotal whatever. But we are going to have a certain problem. Let's just try it again. So enter. This formula is missing a range reference or a defined name. So nani anapata that who is getting that problem or maybe that error? Anybody with that error? Ama we have not tried it. Okay, let me give you 2 minutes to try, 1 minute to try that. So go first and create a nini. Go to insert shapes, create that shape. Then you could add a text for the title, resize it so that it becomes more or less like this mine. Then go and highlight that shape that you created. Do is equaling to, then go to your pivot table to get that data. Let me see if you are also getting that error. So let me know if you're also getting that error. Oh, Sizzler, are you there? You could comment or yeah, just comment whether you're there or not. Who is at that point? Sizzler is saying is catching up. Next is Nathan. Have you gotten to that error? Not yet. Where are you? Or you haven't received that error? Mariwa, Valentine, Lewis.
Hello, I'm using my phone today.
Okay. So Sizzla, the thumbs up is that you have the error or what? Or Sizzla has the error. Lucy and Hillary.
Okay, mine is not showing an error, but it's refusing to show the figures.
No, so if it's not showing the figures, then you just right click this and say send backwards. Hillary, yours is showing an error.
Yes, the same error.
Okay. Lucy, when you clicked send backwards, the figure is appearing.
I've inserted a test box to write the formula there, but it's not like it's not working. I don't know what's happened. Let me try again.
Okay. Where's Amos? Where's yours? How is yours? So that thumbs down is you got an error or you don't know where we are. Gets an error. Mbodza, are you successful? Uh, yes.
I'm using my phone.
Okay. Yeah. I know where I'll catch people because you people are going to build a dashboard from today and submit it by Saturday. So, and all these things that you're learning, they are going to be there. Who else? Emily, are you also using your phone?
No, but same error.
Okay. I click on OK. So how do we sort the error? So we could go back to our pivot. So we have this sum of subtotal. Instead of picking it from, because you know that this is a pivot table, the way it is, easy lines mbili. These ones are pivot tables. So we could say that we write up is equal to, then place this value. So we have extracted it outside from the pivot table. So we have it out. Actually, any values change, this one will always be changing because it's pointing out to. So if we refresh our pivot tables, this one will also be changing. Yeah. So what could we? So that is what you could do. I mean, you can put it even here and say is equaling to this. Enter. You could even come and put it here somewhere mahali, but we don't want it to be as part of our summary here. So we just want it to be at the part of pivots. Then say is equaling to, yeah. So I would prefer maybe kwa hapa is equaling to this. Then press on enter. So once we have this value, probably we could do some few things and say hapa we format it so that we have and even reduce the decimals and say we have 0 decimals. Yeah, so this is 34, 191, 793. Then we come back to our summary and we want it this, and then say is equaling to, and then go back to pivot table and point it now to this one, is equaling to pivot table G35, then enter. So once you're here, if I drag this thing even here, so unaweza there's a value now. Are we together up to that point? If I drag it around, then nani hayuko hapa? Is not able to see this card. Lucy, what's happening? Who else? Lucy, what's the issue?
Can you kindly pardon, like the part where you have been able to bring it to the card? Kindly.
So let me control Z. So when we tried to point, so we clicked this one and say, so first highlight this. So we said is equaling to, then come to pivot table and say sum of subtotal, so that we have this get pivot data or whatever, and then say is equaling to, then we got that error. Hadi hapo tuko sawa Lucy, right? Yeah, okay. So for us to bypass this error, then we just go back to pivot table and point and maybe in an empty cell, click here and reference. Is it G32? Let's say enter. So we have this value 34, 191, 793. So instead of pointing it through to the pivot table that we have, we reference like a cell that references the pivot table. So this one is actually not a pivot table. So you go to summary, then this one, that shape that you created is selected. Then you come to the formula bar and say is equal to, then come to pivot table and point it to this one. So it becomes is equaling to pivot table G35. Then press on enter. Are you together, Lucy? Yeah. So what remains is for us to organize this 34, 191 ionekane isikuwe inafunikwa na this total cells, right? So we could go to so the way we've highlighted that shape, we could go to this place, alignment. Let's say tumesema mid alignment, so mid align, and then this one is on the fringe edges, so we could put it ikuwe inakaa hapo. Actually the best one could be this one, bottom align, right, and then put it on the center. We could do a bold and then add add it so that inaonekana hapo. Even these total cells of ours, we could put it to be bold, and let's check if we do 12. It's then we could drag it a little bit, then drag it to the sides. Then now we have it this way. Or I'm seeing this value, if you put it hapo itakuwa ni nini sana. So let's just do it this way. Yeah. Are we there? So once you're here, so once we're here, we could click cost. You can see tuko na sales za cost hapa. We could click Eastern. We can see Eastern. So it's changing. Mountain 635. You go to Nyanza 7 million. North Rift 12. Nairobi, you could see that. Are we together? Who is lagging behind? Steve. Do you have Steve? Must have left. Steve, Andrew. Yeah, Steve.
Yes.
Are we together?
Yeah, I'm following. Are we together?
You are following. You are also able to do it on your end, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Mariwa, today we haven't heard from you. Mariwa is denying us the rare opportunity to listen to her voice. Anyway, we could also maybe build another card. So these things we call them cards. Eh? So we could also build another card for. Yeah, you see, actually the fact that we've done what we've edited this one. You could just copy format. So there's this format painter. You just click on format painter and then you see that brush and come and click the one that you want the format to be poured into, like this one. So instead of going back, format, you want to change shape, outline, whatever, yeah, you can just do what you call paint format. You copy the format. So using that format painter, yeah. So which card could you be interested in? I mean, you're looking at things that top line things that might be needed to be seen. So I just did that, and let me check for something here. Yeah, there are these shape styles. I wanted to check. Yeah, so sometimes you may want to put a shadow on your card, right? You just come here to shape effects and maybe see some shadow there. For me, I always prefer this shadow, only shadow that is there. I mean, I'm also telling you what I do prefer. So you come here and format paint, copy that, copy it, pair it to those others, pair it to that one. So you have a so I was checking here so that the same size. So you could put it somewhere here. Yes. So even with these ones, if you leave even that small space, it still looks like a little bit beautiful. Eh? So this is now this one also you come here and just pima them, just to ensure that it's equal. Proportionality. So for those who did something called proportions. And then this one becomes there. And then you could bring it up. It occupies there. Then you drag this one chini so that covers Nini. So you could actually see that now your dashboard is coming to shape. Eh? So you pull that else and then put it this one here. Yeah, and then now you could drag it again so that it occupies that place. Then drag this other one down. So if you resize here ya juu, you also resize this other one. I mean the one that is next to it. Yeah. So we have that. So these are part of things that you do when you're done with your analysis. Now you want to look at how do I make this thing presentable with kama user. So you have to see to it that vitu zako ziko organized. Yeah. So here we could put what? We may want to show even before that. Hii total sales tunaona ni kuna hiyo color ya white. We could put maybe a different color. Maybe a darker one, this one. So ka background instead of ikuwe nini. You could see that you have that. So hiyo ndio ikue for our headers. Something else that you may want to do here is to group them, because right now if I drag this, total sales remains, right? So you come here and select let's select here ya kwanza, then select here pili, while ukishika control Z ama shift, shift. So it will be shift, it will be control, not control Z. And then once you've highlighted the two, you right click and then there's group. So you come here and group them. So right now, if I were to drag this, you can see that you have total sales is being dragged, right? And then upper, because we wanted maybe number of number of sales representatives, we could do a pivot. We could do a pivot here and say we want display name, but display name should be in the values. So count of, wait, there should be count distinct. Let me go to count. Do we have count distinct? Yeah, there should be something count distinct. Yeah, here is where the unique function could help us. Yeah, because I'm not seeing a count distinct under this nini. Show values as, I'm not seeing it here also. Yeah, so that could be, yeah, that could be messing us, but there should be count distinct. So here is where now you could use the unique function to just count. Maybe we ended to upper. So the unique function is not available in my nini. I've not updated it. But if you come to this side and then you just do, if you have that unique, the unique one, unique function. So you say unique in bracket and then you point which column you want. So for example, here we could point it to this column. Yeah, of course. Itakuambia name. So for me, I don't have it, so it will tell you name error. So once you have that value, yeah, so you could now come back to your summary and say this one is equaling to the value that we have here. So whenever there is any change huko, hapa kunakuwa na change. Yeah, because you don't want to, if we count them this way, in hesabu like, so it means like we have a total of 49,335 rows, because it is not counting unique entries. It's counting every name that is appearing there. But this is like, this is misleading. It's not what we want. Yeah. Hilary, you have a unique function, right? So once you have that unique, yeah. So once you have the unique function, you can do the unique, and then it will list for you all the unique names. Then do a count is equaling to count. Then you highlight the rows that the unique function has generated for you. Hilary, you have the unique function, eh? Was it Hilary or Lucy? Oh, yeah, there's somebody who had who's Excel. So it's Lucy. Yeah, if you do a unique function, and then so that it brings you the unique names here. Has it brought you the unique names under display? If you use unique, yes. So once it brings you that, then you can once it does that, then you can now do is equaling to count, then you highlight the columns that contains those unique functions, and then you press on enter. So once you have that value, then this is what you could point to. We could point to what? We could point to our figure, our shape. So we say is equaling to that, and then main, and we get to it. Yeah, let us update our exams. Something else that we may want to show here, apart from just that, we could say we want to show what? Yeah, similarly, or what you can do is this. Even without struggling for mambo na unique, let me connect my charger first before things. Yeah, I've remembered we could use pivot table so that we pick the unique names. Yeah, without caring about the unique function. Just a minute. And then, so what we could do is to come here to our pivot table, and yeah, come here to pivot table and wait. I don't know what's happening with my Excel today. If I select row number 32, okay. Let me save this first and see. Analyze this data. Then okay, yeah. So what I wanted is, I just want to pick the unique names. So instead of count of display, I just want to put display here. Then I have this row, and I want to do, so once I have it there, let me say is equaling to count. So I have that nini, then I say is equaling to count for us this one up to this Zainabu. We're getting G42, G64, it's saying 0. Count. Okay. Wait. Counter. Then we do this up to, yeah. So it's counter. I was using count, but count, we know very well that count is only counting numeric. So this is what now we could point to summary under this. So we say, so it is equaling to pivot table this number. So our sales representatives, the total number of sales representatives are 23. And then we could come back and let me see if we can no, this one is now an object because we grouped it, so we cannot format it in Paint. But we could just rearrange this and give it, maybe say 20. I don't know which value we took for this one. Oh, we took 16. So this one also needs to be 16. So, and then we put it bold. Yeah, so if we want to increase it, then we also need to increase this one. Then we give this one a title. So if I click Nairobi region, It's telling me that we've had 14 sales representatives. If I click North Rift, there's only been 2. If I click Nyanza, kumekuwa tuna 4. If I click Coast Region, kumekuwa na 2. So another thing that you could add is a slicer that contains the names of the people. So that if I click Nini, yeah, that one you can add a slicer of, let's just add it and say we want this display name, then add slicer. Then we want to copy this slicer or Control X, then bring it to this place and says Control V. So you'll arrange your nini once you're done. Wait, why is this thing refusing here? So if I select Coast Region, then it's telling me that I have only Petronilla Mukami. But I think we did a slicer like this yesterday. Okay, seems like we did not do slicer settings, side data. Yeah. So if I click Eastern Region, it's telling me I have only Janet Kailu. And then if I click on this, then I can now select. It's saying we've had 3. So who is the third person? Because you're not seeing him here. Or it's a blank. Yeah, so if I click on Purity Nkatha Kadhiari, if I click on Jeffrey Kimathi, I'm seeing the sales. Am I seeing? Oh, this one is not interacting with this. Yeah, it's not interacting. Okay, so we go to report connections and tell it to interact with all of them. It was only interacting with pivot 2. So we select ISO and get to this point and say okay. So if you click on yeah, now you can see mountain region kuna 2 people. So if you click on George Kimathi, the total sales is changing. If you click on Purity, sales zake zina change. And then you go back to and select other regions. Yeah, Nairobi similar. We've had 14 people. Caroline Mwende, ndio huyo. Why is this thing doing 2? That is the big question. Doris Karaoke, and you go to Lilian Akinyi, Abob, and all that. Yeah, you could check why this one is if on your end also it's maintaining 2. You may need to understand why it's maintaining 2 and you only have 1 person there. And yeah, so that is it. So you give this one a title, just go to insert and say text box and give it a text box there. But if you want, you could go back and select the text box that you had, Control copy, Control V. Wait, I've not copied it. Delete. Yeah, I might need to ungroup this one first so that we do the same. But let us just draw it here and say sales representatives, and then pull this one up, and then say sales reps. You could say number of sales reps. So we are writing in capital, zote so zikuwe in capital, sales reps, and then give this one a background which we had talked about to be this one. So yeah, that's it. Unless there's any question on that. Anybody with a question? You have a question? Or somebody is not following? This one had 12, this one also needs to be 12, size number 12. And that means we might need to resize this up to Apple and then draw this one on this other side. I think that covers much on dashboards. Yeah, there. And then we can now group the two. So you can start by selecting here and ndani, then you select the hot one, then right click and say group. So that if you drag it, now you can drag it as a pair. So you could have there are information that you may want people to see at a glance. So when they come in, they definitely see that we've been doing sales, but now we are sales at our sales is at 34,191,000. That is the first sensor. Akiona tena we have 23 sales representatives, right? And then akikuja on this other side, you can actually select select a specific sales representative so that aone sales zake and everything. So another trick is sometimes for you to go to maybe this second page, you will require this same info, some top line information here. For example, hizi cards zenye zinakwanga hapa juu, you might find yourself that you're maintaining it in some pages. So what you just do is you copy all of them, right? Let me do a control copy and see, and control V. So you paste them. So the moment ukizipaste huwa zina occupy to almost the same space as they occupied the previous one. So this is maintained. So for example, total sales, because you may want to see sales. You may need to do sales by region, but you're going to maintain all this information. Number of sales rep before now you break down how the sales is performing by region, which region is receiving nini sana, like buy crisp sana, which one buys so you could go by category. For example, if you are analyzing crisps, you want to see performance ya crisps by region. You want to see performance ya which other product category do we have. We had crisps, we had others like this is SKU, but there is SKU category. Yeah, you want to see how peanuts by region, you want to analyze maybe popcorns by region and everything. So you might need to maintain some of the information here. See ya kwamba all of them, and even these slicers, see ya kwamba you're going to maintain them in all the pages, right? You might maintain them in just some select pages. So once you are done with that analysis, then you can pull back there. You can now pull back in ini, because we could not do these things if let's see. Actually we could, yeah, because nilikuwa naona inasumbua. Yeah, we could actually, but let me try something here. I'm seeing that we could, but I'm also seeing that we couldn't. So yeah, kumbe we could. Yeah, it's possible. So you could just first put the shape ndani, then you do all your everything that you're doing here. I thought it was going to distract us while entering drawing that shape, but it's not. Yeah, so that's as far as maybe creating that dashboard is concerned, and creating. Yeah, I felt these ones were necessary for you people to also know. Kuna kwa na zile information that you want to maintain kwa top on the page. They could be cards mpaka maybe somewhere even here, and that's done. Yeah, before the class maybe I'll stop presenting, then remove some critical information the client app, and then I show you a dashboard in Excel, in Power BI, sorry. Then you see how these things are arranged, right? Yeah, so stay tuned towards 8:10 Apple. I'll stop presenting so that I show you that. What else? Any question before I talk about something else? Any question? Who is not okay? But if you're okay, you can do a thumbs up to that point. If you're okay, thumbs up. No thumb is going up. Lucy, Hillary, Nathan, Amos. Au wengine, what's up? I saw somebody like Faith. Faith, how far are you? Are you okay or not okay? Faith Nanjala is okay. How about no, Lewis, you are using your phone. Yeah, but I hope that everyone is doing okay. Bodza, thumbs up, you're okay? Or down? Yeah, so for those who are maybe on their phones, immediately this is you get your laptop, go through it and try all of them again. Unless there is any critical question in terms of creating a, so you could see that cells by subcategory and these ones by region, the titles are different. Not really different, but right. Yeah, not really different, but difference could be in terms of the font sizes. So those are part of the things that you're going to analyze, or maybe to finish up on when you're done. We go back to Nini and Lucy. Lucy, just having Nini, having only two visuals peke yake ati that is a report. It doesn't feel very nice. Yeah. So what you might need to do, probably, now this is the problem ya nini, problem ya hiyo shape. So hizi it's limiting me dragging. Let me see. Yeah. So you could have maybe 4. Kama ni kidogo sana kuwa hata na 4 jamani, lakini 2 peke yake and something else. So kama hii inafika hapa chini, then we also need to ensure that this one also fits in. So ikuwe mpaka hapo, but also we might need to bring this ikuwe centered, right? So that it looks a bit better. I'll show you that also even in my reports, the ones I've mentioned. So zikifika hapo chini, this one also you might ensure that they are sitting somewhere there. This one also you bring it here. This might need to go somewhere else. This might need to be dragged. Then eSpace needs a card again, and then you drag this there, and then now Lucy, you could now do these ones. Bring these ones here. So once you bring it there, drag it also so that it fills that space, and then you drag it down so that it fills that space hapo chini. Once you are there, put something else here. Suppose this one was not there, so eka kitu hapa. So ukiweka control copy, control V. Let me see if I've controlled it. Okay. Imekata. Control Z. Yeah, so I get it back there. So that you have something here. Are we together, Lucy? Lucy, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so you have something here. Then your report might now start looking better. There are other things, other visuals that you might consider using here. We only used pie chart, donut chart, and what? Pie chart, donut chart. I think there's something selected here. That is, yeah, pie chart, donut chart, and bar graph. but there are other different types of charts that you might consider using. So if you click on this place, if you want to do a trend line, yeah, you want to see maybe sales in terms of various years, you may come here and use. So kuna hii ya 2D line shows trends over time, months and days or categories. Use it when the order of categories is important. There are many data points. So you could use those ones. There are these area maps which you could also use. There's this 3D line that you can also check on. There are others, of course, bar graphs now I think we know very well. Then there is the hierarchy chart. You could do a tree map. So when you want to compare values across hierarchy levels, what do you think of as a hierarchy level? Then show proportions within hierarchical levels as rectangles. So yeah, so you could use it when data is organized into. So if you think of maybe an hierarchy is, so think of example kama hii ya subcategory. So we have categories of let me just get it back here. So we have categories of these popcorns, peanuts, right? Popcorns, peanuts, crisps, corn chips, star alphabet. So that is like kuna top level, right? Then we go down to SKUs. So that is an hierarchy. So we have a hierarchy of, we come from corn chips. After coming from, actually corn chips is not the first one because the hierarchy is here. The hierarchy comes from category ya kwanza ni foods. So if we have maybe different types of categories here, it could maybe foods and then there's drinks. So that is the top hierarchy. Then you come from there, then you go to the second level, which is now we are coming from foods and then we go to snacks. Then you come from snacks, then you go to a different level, which is now this one, which is cheddar, corn chips, crisps, Ganvia, and every other thing. When you come from this, you land to SKUs. You land here where we call it SKUs, right? Yes, Lewis, I cleared management. So management was what test data that was used to wakati this system was being created. Yeah, so that is now what you call the hierarchies. Another thing is, yeah, so you could to create chart, select cells that contain data. Yeah. Anyway, they are forcing us to use Nini, but I wanted to show you other more on pie charts. Okay, cells that contain data. Okay, let's go to sample sheet and maybe just highlight this and say we want to see more pie charts. Yeah, so you could see now we have this. There's this 3D pie chart, then we have this pie of pie. There are those ones, then there's donut. If you want to see bar, the bar graphs we've talked about, column charts, line charts, I think I've also mentioned. There is a scatter plot. For those who know scatter plots. So here we could be comparing, if you had maybe a column of age and weight, you want to do a scatter plot of x-axis, you do the age, y-axis you do the height. So you see the comparison. Is it like the more like those who weigh who are heavier are actually short people? Or is it that, so the scatter plot is going to tell you that, yeah, so it's going to tell you whether mtu akiwa mfupi, is it that anawei sana ama the taller you are, the less weight, right? So that is something that you could depict by what you call a scatter plot. Yeah, you could have this scatter with smooth lines and markers. So this one can tell you the trend, right? So if you have those data, so this one doesn't have markers, straight lines and markers and everything else. So those are just different combinations. Then you have a stock. High, low, close. To create this stock chart, arrange data on your sheet in this order: high price, low price, closing price. Use dates or stock names as labels. So it looks more or less like, for example, kama hii, looks more or less like a box plot, but it's not, of course. Yeah. Surface, these ones could require you to have, yeah, you could Google what 3D surface maps are. Yeah, but for you to build them, it might need you to have another extension. Kuna extensions that there are some extensions that you might need to have for you to be able to create these, the contours and the, for these two, 3D surface and this wireframe 3D surface. If you want to do a radar map, for those who always look at statistics, different sports, maybe football, NBA, and everything else, I think you've interacted with this kind of charts when comparing maybe statistics about a specific player. Then kuna hii, what we talked about, tree map, sunburst, you've seen. Then there's histogram. We covered histogram in primary. Is it primary or high school? And then we have the box plot. So box plot actually tells you, it's always used when you want to identify outliers in your data. Yeah, to easily identify outliers, but that is not the primary function. Yeah, but the primary function could be just how is your median and mean playing, right? So is it that the median of your data is higher than the mean of your data? And what is the conclusion? Do you say now that your data is skewed to the left or skewed to the right? But if your mean is in the middle, then you could say that your data has a normal distribution. So box plot will help you to identify how distributed is maybe a specific column of your data, right? So if it's column of income, you may want to check how maybe the earnings of people by ages, right? But now you want to see how skewed is it? Is it that maybe the young people wanna earn sana or what? So you could look at the box plot as something that helps you to, yeah, something that helps you to identify the skewness of your data. Is it normally distributed? Is it skewed to the right or skewed to the left? And then you could look at waterfall. Yeah, so waterfall, you could think of it as nini imekatwa katwa. Bachat zenye zimekatwa katwa, but they actually represent different data altogether. Yeah, clustered column chart and line. So to create a combination chart, select at least two series of your data. So there's this, then there's a clustered column, line, and secondary, then that. So these ones are different charts that you can have in Excel. There are also charts that you could use in your report, right? So it's for you to select what do you want to see. Maybe at one point you've built a scatter plot, put it there. You've at one point may build this waterfall, put it there, so that like your nini doesn't become also boring, that we are seeing the same kind of things in your data set. Yeah, you might see it also in maybe mine, one of the ones that I built, but it was what the client wanted to see. Niweke hizo vitu zikiwa hivyo. Yeah, so sometimes you have to obey what they want. So that is it. There's one thing that I wanted to tell you, and that is how to import data from the web. I tried it with mine. There are some errors I was getting, but I hope somebody within the group is not going to get that error. I've tried to bypass it, including downloading JavaScript, but it's still not. It's not going through. So suppose I wanted to And I mentioned something that this data has to be in tables. Even within the platform that you're going to get it, lazima zikuwe in tables, right? So I could say, if I want to get a certain data, let me look at there's one I was checking, and it was called spot price. Yeah, spot price. This one I checked just recently here. Spot price. US Energy Information Administration. So if I go to maybe this homepage of US Energy Information Administrative EIA, and then click on this, then I could click on sources and then go to any of them. Let me see natural gas, what is there, current issues and trends. Yeah, you could see that there's this table here that you might be interested in picking. Of course, the easiest way could be control copy and come here and control V. Let's see if it's working. It's playing. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let me wait for it. So why I'm saying this one will not be the best option is if this information is changed, like if it changes and then what you just did was to copy and come and paste it in Excel here, it might not be the best way to go, because when data changes huko, yours will not be changing. But the idea about bringing data from the web is you could actually link it so that if there are changes within the data, it also changes on your side. Just a minute to leave a message here. Okay. Yes. So this could not be the best one. So what you could do is go here to data and click on get external data. Yeah. So if you click here, then go to from web. And let me know if yours works. So mine was getting me this error that you're seeing. So once I get to this, navigation to the page was cancelled. Then I go back to my my data, or maybe where I want to get the data, then copy this link, control copy, and then come to my Excel here and paste it, control V. So once I'm there, I can click on go. Yeah, so this is the error I keep on getting. I've tried resolving it and it's not working. But let me know if there's someone who is not getting such an error. I've even removed third-party extensions that might be inhibiting it, and it's not going. But it's the last thing. Then we get data into Power Pivot, into the Power Pivot that we're talking about. Anybody who is not getting such an error, if you go through what I've done. So Nathan yako iko sawa. Who else? Hillary. I want people to do this so that you could just go to US energy information, then pick maybe this, click on sources and uses, and you could pick the natural gas one, or you could pick, but just copy that link. Well, yake iko hapo imefaulu. Steve,
Not yet.
what is it saying? Ama you have
Is
not?
when I'm typing what you've said, because initially I got stuck and I was not able to get any data.
Okay. Who else? Nathan yako? Not Nathan, Hillary. Before you go to Nathan, Hillary, you can unmute and tell us where you are.
Yeah, it has come.
So where it has taken you to pivot.
Yeah, just okay. Pivot, queries and connections. Okay.
Queries and connections. Yeah, that is
Yes.
where it should be. Actually, I might need you to present it so that I tell you the next things. Just a
So
minute before
can
you.
I? Okay.
Yeah, let me check with the others. Amos, are you there? Amos Sumbi. Lucy yake iko sawa. I need to see those who aren't at that point and let us understand why. It's same challenge as yours. Yeah, okay. Yeah, for me, I think one of the reasons I might also need to even update this Excel because it's a version 2016. I might need to upgrade it. If there's someone doing that, you will upgrade it for me just today so that I bypass some of the errors that I'm having with my. I've tried to resolve that error, and I think just updating it might be the solution. Yeah, Hilary, you can present.
So what I did in this website, I didn't copy this link here. Can you see? Can you see?
Yeah.
I didn't copy this link up here. I opened this data source here. So I opened here, and then I copied this link now. This one.
Which is also okay. I mean, like if you just before you stop presenting, but if you copied hiyo nini and then ikupeleke to Power Query, then there could be various tables. Then you select, okay, this is the table that I want.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you go through that way, still that is
So
okay.
this is what it brought me.
So it brought you here.
Okay, I've actually clicked some things to get to here. So
You've
can
done
I
what?
redo it again? Can I redo it again?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where we should be. Mine is not getting me there. Yeah, so this is what I was telling you, that it selects you or maybe highlights various tables that are available there. Then you select which ones you want. So can you click maybe your table 1? So we are in table 1. Yeah, you could see. Then if it makes sense that that is the data that you want, you click on hapa chini. There's something. transform.
Yeah.
No, you transform the data.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So transforming the data, you might need to just check a few things here and there. Cynthia.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you,
Oh, the query.
so yeah, it should be bringing you to this point. Then if there are those ones that you need to delete, you delete. Now you could even see that columns as in a titles. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is part of you clean them. So you could go back to ile page uone ni columns zilikuwa ziko named aje, then you rename maybe these ones. Hivyo na hivyo na hivyo. And then now you can now select if there are columns that you are not going to need in your analysis, then you just highlight and delete them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So percentage of working gas, yeah, 9, 13. Okay. Yeah. Then if that data is now fully clean as you want it, then you can delete it. I mean you can load, close and load. Table 0. You also picked table 0. Okay. Yeah. So once you click on load, now imekuleta hapa, si ndio?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is it. So with this one, if there's a change in that table, ile table tumetoa kwa web, you just click hapa kwa refresh. Are you seeing there written refresh?
Where?
Up there, up in your
Oh, here.
yeah. Yeah, so if there's any change kwa ile table, you just click on. So you see get the latest data from the source connected to the active file.
Okay.
So you refresh it from that point.
Oh, and I can also unlink.
Yeah, if you want to unlink your data.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that is where you need to be. So once that is done, then yeah, happy days.
Okay.
Okay. That is that. Thanks, Hillary. Anybody with a question? Ella? Anybody with a question? This thing is disturbing. Okay. Do you have any question before I jump into? There's another meeting that I should be having right now. Oh, I needed to show you something. Let me stop presenting.